Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm Tammy.
And I'm Cole.
Welcome to our home.
If you're curious what schnitzel, spatzel, and frikadellen is, check out our review on Biergarten. Thank you guys so much for joining us. So we recently went to Walt Disney World, and one of the restaurants we visited was Biergarten, and it is a German restaurant in the German Pavilion at Epcot, and we really enjoyed it for the most part. So we were going to tell you guys a little bit about our review on that particular restaurant. All right, so we're going to have 4 different categories. We're going to look at food, cost, ambiance, and service. And then at the end, we're going to add them all up and tell you what our rating is for that restaurant.
Now, what is our rating from?
So our rating is going to be 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Yes.
Okay, Cole, so why don't you start us off with the food?
Alright. Biergarten's is a buffet-style restaurant. They offer seasonal salads, rotisserie chicken, roasted salmon, sauerkraut, spätzle, frikadellen, sausages. They have a carving station, braised red cabbage, potatoes, schnitzel, assorted desserts, and for kids they have mac and cheese, hot dogs, and green beans.
All right, so just in case y'all don't know what spätzle, frikadellen, and schnitzel is, I'm going to kind of explain what those are. So spätzle is basically a German noodle or a dumpling, and I had that while we were there. I thought it was really good. Did either one of y'all have it?
It's gluten.
Oh, it has gluten in it. Sorry. That's right. Cole has a gluten allergy, so so Cole didn't eat that one. Sorry, my bad. I don't know what I was thinking.
They do not have gluten-free spätzle.
They don't. No, they sure don't. And then frikadellen is a German-style hamburger. I didn't have that one. Did you have that?
I did not.
No, because it looked kind of strange, so I didn't eat it. And then schnitzel is like a breaded type. Theirs was pork, but it can be chicken and all kinds of different meats. And I did have the schnitzel, and I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
It kind of tastes like a fried pork chop, essentially.
Yep.
I dipped it in a little bit of ketchup. It was really
I felt like it was better than just a fried pork chop.
Yeah.
But
It was to me one of the most enjoyable things I had on the buffet.
I liked one of their soups, which we didn't mention, but they had some soups, and it was amazing.
It was a beer cheese soup.
Oh, it was amazing.
So yeah, it was really good. And then they
very,
had
very good.
they had these little rolls that you could dip in it.
And I used the pretzel rolls and dipped them in the beer soup. And
Yeah.
woo!
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Very good.
And then I had some of their salmon, and then I also had some of their rotisserie chicken, and I thought both of those were very good. And they had different types of German-style potatoes. They had some cold potatoes. They had warm potatoes. So they had like a whole variety of them, and then they had a variety of sausages as well. So if you like sausage and sauerkraut and those type of foods, then you would probably really enjoy this buffet. As far as our family goes, we really enjoyed it. Now, Cole, tell them what we gave it as a rating for the overall restaurant.
As a rating, we gave the food a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the stuff is a little different than we're used to eating, so, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go here and it's all stuff I like.
Yeah.
That's probably why we give it a 7. When we found stuff we liked, we really did like it.
Yeah.
And we would go back, right?
Yeah.
Don't y'all agree?
Yeah. And what we didn't talk about was some of the desserts. Now, they had apple strudel. Apple strudel. They had apple strudel. I thought that was okay. They had some more traditional desserts that you would see at other buffets at the Disney restaurants that I generally like, so I enjoyed the desserts. So I just had like small little portions of each dessert.
The night we were there, I think the strudel just wasn't as good as it maybe as some of the nights.
But that's a typical German dessert, so that's kind of one of their specialty items because it's typical German fare, I guess. So I would encourage you to try it if you go there.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
It's definitely worth a
after all,
try.
it's buffet. You're not paying any more for it, so give it a try.
Absolutely. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is cost.
So
Chris?
as far as cost, Biergarten's is expensive. It really is. There are some discounts that you can get for it. I know it's a 2-table credit. I would never use a two-table credit there because you can pay for it and save that other credit for something else maybe. What we did was we had Tables in Wonderland and we used the Tables in Wonderland discount to get 20% off, and so that worked out real well. I know generally an adult ticket is like $46, a child's ticket is like $29, child being anyone from 3 to 9, and an adult being anyone from 10 years old and older. And so, you know, we got 20% off of our meal by using the Tables in Wonderland, and that was good. But that price includes, you know, all your food, all your desserts, and it includes your
beverage. You get a drink.
Beverage, yes.
Yeah.
And so
I don't think alcohol's included in that price, though, is it?
if you do a dining plan, it is.
Okay.
We don't drink, so it's not a big deal to us.
Yeah.
We don't ever think about that.
I didn't mention that in the food, but they also offer a selection of beer and wines. We don't drink alcohol, but that's one of the offerings there that makes it kind of a it's like indicative to that restaurant is certain beers, German beers.
Right.
So and they do offer a selection of wines, and then I think they have like some shots and things that you can purchase as well. I saw that on the menu, but like I said, we didn't drink. So
it's a very popular restaurant. It was a wait even upon our getting there with reservations. So cost-wise, we're thinking somewhere around a 7 out of 10. Because it's not too expensive compared to some of the other places when you use the discount that we use, which is the Tables in Wonderland. However, without a discount, it is pricey, and so I would say it's about a 7.
All right.
Tammy, tell us about the ambiance.
All right. So this restaurant the outside theming is not anything extravagant, I would say. It just kind of, when you're going into Epcot, it's kind of like your standard buildings. And then you'll see the restaurant name, which is Biergarten, and you go inside, and on the inside, it's themed as you're in a Bavarian village, like you're in Oktoberfest, and they have trees and lampposts, and then there's even a moon out, so you kind of feel like you're in an outdoor, like a patio type setting, and there is a band at the front, and they're called an Oompa band, and there's a dance floor in front, and they play bells, they play an instrument called an alpenhorn, and so you get a little bit of entertainment during your dining. And I will say this, at Biergarten you have communal dining, which means they're gonna set you at a table, and there's 8 people per table. So if you're a family of 2 or you're a family of 4, you're gonna be sat with other people. So just be aware that is how the restaurant is designed and how you're going to be sat. So if you don't want to dine with other people, or you want a more intimate setting, then this may not be the best restaurant for you. But as far as our family, when we were sat with another family of 4, and so it was fine. I mean, we actually ended up conversating with the other family, and so it worked out perfectly fine for us.
The exterior of the buildings, are kind of German style buildings, but they almost work like the old German clocks that had like trinkets that would come out and do things. So every now and then, if you're sitting outside waiting, something will happen up above the buildings in the windows and the opening of the patio style doors. Yeah, something would happen like that.
What theming is it?
It was actually Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb, because he's German.
Yeah, and then there's Perry the Platypus that comes out. So
right. It was very
And so that's pretty neat to me. So it's not just a standard housing thing. I mean, they've got a little interactive there. You got to kind of sit down and watch in order to absorb that and see that. But I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, especially if you're just waiting for your
And we were there during Christmas. And so they had a big Christmas thing going on the stage. I'm sure they've got something all the time.
They do.
But this particular deal was very Christmas centered. And so you got the telling of Christmas from a German perspective.
Yeah. So for Ambiance, we ended up giving it a 9. We felt like it was a very the setting was very indicative to German theming. So it was really nice. We enjoyed it. All right, and then lastly, we're going to talk about service. Chris, you want to tell us about service?
Sure. I mean, I felt like the lady did real well. She was able to help Cole with his food allergy. She was able to, bring us all of our drinks and, kind of introduce us to the other family a little bit. And was very responsive when we'd run low on drinks, anything like that.
Took away dirty plates.
Right, taking away dirty plates. And then she was also very nice with Cole. He can't have most of the desserts, or actually he couldn't have any desserts. So that's something to note. Gluten allergy, no desserts there are gluten free. So they had packaged desserts they gave him, which were cookies, and they gave him several packages of those cookies, and so that was very nice. But she was very responsive to those things and was able to help us out. And so to me, service was great. Honestly, I would give it a 9.
Yeah.
I think we all agreed to that.
Absolutely, yeah. She was a great server, yeah.
But that's something that could vary from one time to the next.
For sure, just like it could at any restaurant. But it always makes it memorable whenever you have good service at a restaurant. You're like, oh, I remember the last time we went here, we had really great service. So just noting that when we were there, we had a great server.
So in conclusion, overall, we would give it an 8. The whole restaurant all together with all the different categories, the food, the cost, the ambiance, the service, we would say that totaled out, we're at a solid 8 for Biergarten's. And I think that that's appropriate.
Yeah.
So we hope you guys are able to go and enjoy the restaurant if you haven't ever before. If you have, please let us know, comment down below. We'd love to hear about your experience. And until next time,
From our house to yours.
For food, they offer a bevy of many things, and to just let you know that this is
I'm sorry.
what is a bevy?
What's a bevy? I was like, a bevy?
That's a buffet.
No,
Not a bevy.
No, a bevy means a bunch of, like a. That's an actual word, you know.
Most people don't know what that is. Because we're pretty educated, and I didn't know what a bevy.
Who is this kid? A bevy? Siri, what's a bevy? She said, I don't know what's a bevy.
Here's some information.
Siri, what is a bevy of information?
Here's what I found.
A large group or collection. Is this from that book I made you go through?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Nicole, to tell us about the bevy?
All right.
Hold on, I can't do it.
There's Cole grabbing the nose.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I got your nose.
All right, you ready?
Nicole, to tell us about the bevy?
Cole, tell us about the offerings at
Tell us
Biergarten.
about the bevy.
Cole, you want to tell us about food?
Alright. Biergarten offers.
What is wrong with you?
You're worse than Allison.
Just please, sit up and let's do the video. Oh no!